Victoria Spartz is a Ukrainian-born female member of Congress who is passionate about protecting the freedoms of the American people and upholding the founding principles of the Constitution. She believes that the country is in a dangerous position due to the rise of socialist and Marxist ideologies and criticizes the tactics used by the left to centralize power and control. Spartz emphasizes the need for politicians who are willing to stand up against the establishment and fight for the people, rather than focusing on maintaining power and pleasing big money donors. Spartz discusses the prevalence of corrupt practices within both the Republican and Democratic parties, where politicians pass legislation that benefits their own businesses or those of their friends through tax credits, grants, and government contracts. She criticizes the influence of special interest groups like hospitals, insurance companies, and big pharma in controlling government funds and policies, leading to favoritism and the creation of oligarchs who benefit from political connections. The Congresswoman also highlights the challenges within the Republican Party, pointing out the lack of strong leadership and the tendency for politicians to prioritize their own interests over the needs of the people. She expresses frustration with Speaker Johnson for not taking a stronger stance on issues like border security and for aligning with the Democrat agenda by suspending rules to pass legislation. Spartz reflects on her exposure to communist and capitalist ideologies during her college years, where she studied economics. She was influenced by the ideals of freedom and democracy, reading works by Alexis de Tocqueville and the founding fathers of the United States. She emphasizes the importance of grassroots movements and strong leadership to inspire and mobilize people towards a common goal. The guest delves into the oppressive nature of the Soviet regime, where religion and individual freedoms were suppressed to maintain control over the population. She shares personal anecdotes of her family's resistance to the communist government, highlighting the importance of religion in maintaining individual strength and resilience against oppression. Spartz discusses the rise of Vladimir Putin in Russia and the shift towards a more authoritarian regime under his leadership. She criticizes the centralization of power under Putin and the lack of support for democratic institutions in Russia. She believes that the West missed an opportunity to engage with Russia and build a better relationship, leading to the current adversarial situation. The conversation shifts to the current situation in Ukraine, with Spartz expressing disappointment in the leadership of President Zelensky. She questions his ability to lead effectively and accuses him of corruption and betrayal of the Ukrainian people. She emphasizes the importance of providing lethal aid to Ukraine to defend against Russian aggression, but criticizes the lack of transparency in how the aid is distributed. Spartz also discusses the role of the United States in supporting Ukraine and Israel, emphasizing the need to maintain strong alliances in the region. She expresses distrust in individuals like Jake Sullivan and questions the current administration's approach to foreign policy, particularly in relation to sanctions and diplomatic relations with Russia and other countries. The conversation delves into the influence of George Soros in funding left-wing activists and protests across college campuses. Spartz expresses concern over the tactics used by Soros to destabilize the country through intimidation, violence, and manipulation of media narratives. She also touches on the impact of Marxist ideologies on current events and the need for Americans to be vigilant against such influences. Spartz and the host explore the potential for civil unrest and martial law leading up to the 2024 election, discussing the possibility of orchestrated chaos to disrupt the voting process. They stress the importance of being proactive and prepared for such scenarios, as well as the need for Republicans to be smarter and more strategic in their approach. Spartz emphasizes the importance of educating and engaging with voters, particularly independent and suburban voters, to combat misinformation and ensure that voters are well informed. She praises the ability of podcasts and independent media to provide a platform for honest conversations and diverse viewpoints, stressing the importance of teaching younger generations about the core principles of the Republic. In conclusion, Victoria Spartz is a strong advocate for protecting the freedoms of the American people and upholding the founding principles of the Constitution. She is critical of corrupt practices within both parties and emphasizes the need for politicians who are willing to stand up against the establishment and fight for the people. Spartz's experiences growing up in Ukraine and studying economics have shaped her views on freedom, democracy, and the importance of strong leadership in inspiring and mobilizing people towards a common goal.